and is not racing again until next year. There's the lineup. Tyson Gay goes in lane 4, Endura in 1, Devonish 2, Forsyth in 3. Then Gay goes in 4, Johan Blake in 5, Kim in 6, Samuel 7, and Christian Malcolm in lane 8. Fresh from that silver medal in the European Championships over 200 metres, Christian Malcolm. Well, the qualifying is the first 3 in each of these 2 heats, with the 2 best performers advancing to the final. There in lane 1. Tyson Endura for Norway now, former Gambian. He's a big football fan, is this man, who was 3rd in Gateshead over 200 metres and 5th in the European Championships over 200 metres. That's probably his better distance. Marlon Devonish, well, still going strong at the age of 34. 4th in those European Championships over 200. Just missed out on a rostrum spot. Mario Forsyth of Jamaica, coached by Glenn Mills and trains in the same group as Usain Bolt, was 5th in Stockholm last week over 100. There is Gay. Well, what can you say about him? 9.84 this year. He's not as quick as Bolt and Asafa Powell at this year over 100 metres, but he's beaten them both now. Johan Blake in lane 5, the danger man to Gay back tonight. Some people think he is. He's well rested. He hasn't raced for about 3 weeks since Monaco over 200 metres, and there he ran 19.78, the young Jamaican. Charles Kimmons goes in lane 6, 4th at the World Indoors over 60 metres back in March, and 2nd in the US Championships. Kimmons, one to watch, he's in 6th. Jamie Samuels, another American there, in lane 7. Comes here fresh from a 3rd place in Lucerne, where he won a separate under-23 race and has run 10.03 this year. And Christian Malcolm completes the lineup. Not a great lane 8 for Christian there, but nonetheless a huge welcome for this 31-year-old, the UK champion this year, the European Championship silver medalist, as I said, a former World Junior champion of both 100 and 200 metres. So the tickets in the last couple of weeks have been selling at roughly 1,000 tickets per day, we understand, for this meeting since those European Championships, and hardly a seat to be had here in Crystal Palace tonight. These men have to race again right at the end of our programme in about an hour and a half's time. Saudi Endura in 1, Devonish in 2, Forsyth in 3, Tyson Gay goes in lane 4, Johan Blake in 5, Trell Kimmins in 6, Samuels in 7, Christian Malcolm nearest the camera in lane 8. Saudi Endura, I think, over in lane 1 to write a picture. Very, very clearly a full start from the Norwegian, and that could be him. Down and out, he's gone. We'll wait for it to become official, but look at this. Dear, oh dear, there is no cushion these days, no forgiving factor. One full start and you disqualify yourself, and there is only yourself to blame 99.9% of the time. I don't think there was much noise in the stadium just now, Stuart.
No, not at all. Pole vault. It's Miles, and Derek Miles is going quite well in this pole vault competition. Just a brief glimpse at him.
Well, back to this 100 metres first heat of 2, and unfortunately it was indeed Saudi Endura of Norway who has to step aside. He's a big football fan, this man. Premiership season here in the UK, in England, opens tomorrow. I wonder if he's got tickets. So once again then, Marlon Devonish goes in lane 2. The lane beside him, lane 1, now empty. Mario Forsyth of Jamaica in 3. Tyson Gay, there he is, in lane 4. In wonderful form. He's had his own fair share of injury problems in the last few months, but he's in fine fettle now. Of course, Asafa Powell was due to run here at Crystal Palace. He is pulled out with a back problem. Johan Blake of Jamaica in 5, Trell Kimmins of the USA 6, Jamie Samuels, USA 7, and Christian Malcolm in lane 8. The first of 2 heats, first 3 go through by right to the final. Away cleanly this time. Gay, third to right there in the blue, sat back in the blocks a little bit, didn't get a very good start at all. It was a safe start from Gay. Here he comes though, alongside of his Blake. It's Gay, Blake, and on the near side, I think that was Jamie Samuels who took third spot. 10.02 into a slight headwind, and it's a cool, damp evening here at Crystal Palace. That was pretty useful, especially as it was what I would call by his standards a fairly lazy start. He really didn't get away at all well. I don't think he particularly wanted to. He just wanted to make sure he got away legally and got to the line in the first 3, and as it happens, he won at a canter. 10.02 there for Tyson Gay. Remember, he's 9.69 at his very best, the second fastest man in history. There's plenty spare there. Works hard through that middle section of the race. Shuts down there about 20 metres out. Just drops the arms. Chugs across the line. He and Blake well clear.
Yeah, another look at this. Tyson Gay didn't get away well at all. And certainly Kimmon's got a good start. And so did Blake. Blake actually is quite a good athlete. He's only 20, remember, the youngster. The yellow top next to Gay. 9.95 this season. That's a personal best. And I think we'll see a lot more from him. Very impressive young man. Another look from the top. It was Trell Kimmins that got the start there. Blake was left a little bit, but then they overtook him. Gay really had to work hard up to about halfway, and then at 60 metres started to coast a little bit. And then, actually, if anything, Jan Blake looked the more comfortable of the two until that final stage when Gay was away. But a good win. First 3 go through by right to the final at, 8.48.
And confirmation of Gay's time there, 10.02 over Blake and Samuels. Those first 3 will definitely go through to the final. Trent Kimmins on 10.25 and Mario Forsyth. We'll have to wait and see if they can be fastest losers. Second heat coming up in a few minutes' time. 100 metres. Conditions clearly not too bad down there, although Gay was running into a slight headwind.
Well, there it is. Spearmon, Paget, Lewis Francis, Dix, Thompson, Martina, Rogers and Gilling. It's a very, very strong lineup indeed, particularly when you look to lane 4, and Walter Dix will come through to him as we go lane by lane, if we do go lane by lane. Certainly Walter Dix, who beat Tyson Gay in the Eugene 200 metres, a terrific run it was indeed. But he's a 9.88 man this season. He got a bronze medal in the Olympic Games in 100 and the 200 metres. Wallace Spearmon on the right of your shot now, and centre shot, world silver medalist at 200 metres, bronze at 2007 and 2009. He's very much a 200 metre specialist, but he's got a best of 10.15. A man with lots of strength and speed endurance. Travis Paget, well, he was 4th in the US Championships in both the Olympic trials in 2008 and the World Championship trials 2009. Diminutive figure next to Mark Lewis Francis. European silver medal. All those 10.18s, he was given the verdict. An Olympic gold medalist in the 4x1. Looking to get back to real form. Will need to compete against this fella. He is tough. 9.88. His best set this season. Very impressive as well is Richard Thompson. 2 Olympic silver medals from Beijing. Former American base, Louisiana State, I'm told. Was 3rd in Stockholm. Jurandi Martina of the Dutch Antilles. 4th in the Beijing Olympic 100 metres. Originally 2nd in the 200 metres, then disqualified. He's clocked 19.82, so it was disappointing for him. Mike Rogers, the US champion at 100 last year, indoor 60-metre champion, the last, for 2008 and 2010. To complete the lineup, Tremaine Gilling of Great Britain, English closed champion at 100 metres, got a best of 10.25. Good for experience for this fella. Go through to the final. So, Spearmon, Paget, Lewis Francis, Dix, Thompson, Martina, Rogers and Gilling. Dix got away well, so did Thompson outside him. Thompson and Dix, these two going very strongly indeed, so is Rogers on the near side. Dix gets it, Thompson in second place. We'll look to Spearmon on the far side. He was very close for third, but we'll check on that in a moment. The time 10.08.
So nothing to choose.
And Richard Thompson, I said watch out for him, but certainly Walter Dix is a powerhouse, he really is. Mark Lewis Francis, we'll check on him as well for British viewers.
There's Walter Dix. Olympic sprint.
Yes, that looked like a slightly closer race than the first heat, sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the fastest losers from that one. Dix confirmed as the winner at 10.08 ahead of Thompson, 10.14, and it was indeed Michael Rogers third, 10.22. Here it is again. Certainly they worked very hard there. Dix there with the dark glasses, just holding his form slightly the better, coming to the line. Although I have to say Thompson easing back and looking across at Dix a few metres out as if to say, what's the rush for? We're through. That final for them now, about an hour and a quarter away. And of course, Rogers will be through by right as well. I can confirm that Wallace Spearmon with 10.25 will also go through, as will Trell-Kimmon. So the fourth placer from each of the two races will go through as fastest losers. Trell-Kimmon's from the first heat and Wallace Spearmon from that second heat. They are running into a minus 0.3 wind there, and in the first race, Tyson Gay minus 0.4. Not a great deal in it, frankly, although one feels that perhaps Gay was keeping his powder just a little bit drier.
Yeah, another look at this. Certainly, that was a very, very good start indeed by Thompson. And in the end, Dix, a big, powerful man. He really is a powerhouse. Came through that very, very strongly indeed. Let's just check on that. Walter Dix 10.08, Richard Thompson 10.14, then Mike Rogers and Wallace Spearmon third and fourth, 10.22 to 10.25.
One final event on the track, and that's the men's 100 metres final to crown this first of 2 days here at Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. This is the 12th of 14 stops, or 14 meetings on the Samsung Diamond League. And Tyson Gay, so much the draw card here after 1 week ago. You could almost say thrashing Usain Bolt in Stockholm. You've seen him beat Asafa Powell on a couple of occasions this summer already. Tyson Gay, then the favourite, goes in lane 4 in this men's 100 metres final. Look out too, though, for Walter Dix, who's been in great form this year, and Richard Thompson too in lane 3. Will try to match the American every step of the way. He's the third fastest man in the world this year on paper, is Tyson Gay, but he's beaten both Powell and Bolt now. There's Trell-Kimmons. He goes in lane 1 as the American. Fourth in his heat, he got through as the fastest loser with 10.25. Jamie Samuels goes in lane 2. American who got through by right here, but it's very much an outsider, it has to be said. Then the Trinidadian, Richard Thompson, second in his heat in 10.14, and third in Stockholm last week behind Gay and Bolt. There is Tyson Gay. World number 1, well, he probably is, frankly, and holding back those injuries at the moment, which have taken both Powell and Bolt out of this season so far. Bolt has hung his spikes up. Powell was meant to race tonight, couldn't make it. Walter Dix, well, he's better over 200 metres, frankly, is Dix, but he is a 9.88 man, and that this year, if he starts well, he could be dangerous. Johan Blake, well, this could be the biggest danger. He's just 20 years old, is Blake. coached by Glenn Mills, and Mills coaches one Usain Bolt. So don't write off the young Jamaican. He's in 6th. Wallace Spearmon goes in lane 7. He's a 9.96 man Spearmon, but very much a 200-metre specialist. Bronze medalist last year at the World Championships in Berlin over the longest sprint. And then Mike Rogers in lane 8 completes the lineup. Rogers, well, 9.94 last year. He was only 3rd in his heat here in 10.22, so not really firing on all cylinders, and frankly has had a very reduced season from a racing perspective. But Tyson Gay, former world champion at 100 metres and 200 metres, will want to regain those titles which he won in Osaka in 2007, and of course he heads out to Asia again next year, barring injury, for those World Championships in Daegu. In very, very good form so far. Wins in Gateshead, beating Powell. Won in Monaco over 200 metres. And then won in Stockholm last week, beating Usain Bolt. He's in wonderful shape. Is the Kentucky-born American in lane 4. The lineup again from the inside. Trell Kimmins in 1, Jamie Samuels in 2, Thompson in 3, Gay 4, Dix 5, Blake 6, watch him, Spearmon 7, Rogers in lane 8. Gay in the yellow there, in lane 4. Well, not a bad start from Gabe, although he did stumble a little bit there. Coming back at him now is Thompson on the far side, and going well on this side too is Blake in yellow, but Gabe's going to take this one. The margin there about a metre at the line, 9.78. It's the fastest time in the world this year. Into a slight headwind, can you believe? Minus 0.4 the headwind. But Gay had to work for it because young Johan Blake will have run a very fast time here tonight as well, probably a personal best. He's been in great form, the young Jamaican, and Gay certainly had to work to keep him at bay, holding the groin there again. I think when he really exerts himself, this man, when he really stretches, didn't have Powell or Bolt up against him, was able to run there without any of that sort of pressure, then he does succumb to injury. 9.78 confirmed, the fastest time in the world this year, and a new meeting record, and indeed, young Johan Blake for Jamaica, 9.89 for 2nd place, a new personal best. They were way ahead of 3rd place. What a run, he just goes from strength to strength.
Well, Gay got away well here, so did Blake on the near side, but this is where Tyson Gay's at his best. Once he's ahead and he starts to work on that speed endurance, and he really pounded away, didn't he? Blake looks good, doesn't he, too? Coming through very strongly, but 9.78, and that's unofficial at the moment, is absolutely brilliant. Let's have a look from the other side. Comes up very, very slowly. Gay just gets up onto his toes, blasts away. Look at that, he's spreading away from this field beautifully. High in his hips. Beautiful arm action, typical sprinting technique of a man who's read the textbooks. Wins it comfortably in the end, just comes up slowly, very slowly, doesn't look up too quickly. When he gets up, the pressure's on. He only takes a couple of breaths. Look at him holding his breath. It's all anaerobic stuff here. Now he's breathing, looking at the line, anxious to get there, and my goodness me, he got there very, very quickly indeed at 9.78, and that is a truly magnificent piece of running, piece of sprinting, power sprinting all the way with terrific dexterity. He's got it all.
Well, let's hope this ebb and flow of the sprint scene comes to a climax next year in Daegu. Tyson Gay winning then, 9.78, the fastest time in the world this year. Johan Blake, great progress from the young Jamaican, 9.89. Richard Thompson, 10.05 for 3rd.
Well, my goodness me, look at that. They're the 3 places, and we'll have a look at the overall Diamond League standings, the Samsung Diamond League standings, and in a moment. But certainly, there's no absolute clear favourite in this. Asafa Powell's got 10, was injured and couldn't come here.
Fair start underway, and quickly in the middle of the track from the Netherlands Antilles, Trendy Martina in lane 4, making up a lot of the stagger, and here they come around the turn. Boy, just blanketing across with about 100 meters to go. In lane 3, Induri, and then Trendy Martina next to him, and easily winning that one, Wallace Spearmon, after a pretty even race with 100 meters to go, just waltzed his way away from this field.
And remember that Wallace Spearmon is the only person to have beaten Walter Dix this year. He did that at the U.S. Nationals. But this race essentially played into the strengths of Wallace Spearmon. He has the best quarter-mile speed and the best strength of these 8 gentlemen. So once, as you said, that blanket... There's Wallace Spearmon, third from the left. Look at the guy to his inside. Marlon Devon is running a very, very good turn, but those guys are pretty much out of gas after the turn. Look at Wallace Spearmon on the outside. This is where he does his running, and that strength that he has and that relaxation, he's just pulling away from everybody else because he is not decelerating, and a pretty easy win for Wallace Spearmon. Working a little hard, it seems. He usually looks a lot more relaxed than that, but contrast him to Christian Malcolm on his outside. A very easy 20.13 win for Wallace Spearmon in London.
Boy, what a close and what a finish for Wallace Spearmon. He was just putting that field away over the last 50 meters, so Spearmon wins it. Martina is second, and Jaisumi Induri from Norway is third.